I'm gonna try my best to try and convey my thoughts and try to wrap everything up and trying to create this one big circle. So stick with me on this one. I don't believe guidance will teach you the same amount of life lessons that life will naturally teaches you. Like Pharrell has this thing where he takes his children and I guess he puts them or he brings them to unfortunate circumstances or unfortunate situations to try and teach them that life is not all good. The life that we live is so radically different from what other people live. So learn to appreciate it and have gratitude and be able to pay it forward and things like that nature and be kind in these things. And I understand why anybody would feel or object to this because you don't need to actually put your children or bring them into unfortunate situations for them to understand you can teach them these things. But I do not believe that's 100% true. Right. And there's this case of a boy named Ethan Couch, white boy in Texas. Right. I'm pretty sure this was 2018. Him and his friends went into a Walmart, stole some beer. All right. And they got in a truck and Ethan Couch, the driver, he's also drunk at 16 years old and is driving going about 70 and a 40, right? And there's a car parked on the side of the road because something happened with their car. And he hits the car and ends up killing four people. The driver, a mother and a daughter who stopped to help, and somebody who was just passing by. He ends up killing four people. And when this trial gets taken to court, the judge rules because of the lifestyle, because he grew up with money, he hasn't actually been taught the simple things of don't drink and drive. These basic principles that anybody without a grand sum of money has been taught. And in these situations, like questions like, what does it mean to actually be raised right means? And is there a money value attached to it? Because it doesn't really make sense of how somebody who's rich doesn't know not to drink and drive and hit somebody. But there's more to the story. He ends up getting sentenced to 10 months of probation and 2 years in a private juvenile correction center, right? You may think this is good. It's not. He could have got anywhere from 2 to 20 years in jail. So because of the money that his family has, his family is very wealthy, he was able to get that. And the private juvenile detention was like 500,000. Like his parents footed the bill. He ends up violating his probation by being caught drinking at a party, and him and his mother fled to Texas, and then he came back and he was sentenced to 2 years in jail and had to spend the rest of his probation under the court's terms. In situations like that, it becomes very apparent that guidance can only do so much because the skills that brought you to where you are to create the lifestyle that your children are able to enjoy are not the same values that they will probably internalize. Like they probably won't have the same grit or same hunger as you because you genuinely had to get out that situation. You felt that it's do or die for me to get out this situation. They don't have that do or die. They don't have the situation where they don't know where their next meal is going to come from. They probably don't know what it's like not having school uniform, not having good clothes, good shoes, school uniform, uh, school supplies, having hair taken care of, and things like that. They probably never will go through that. So you can't really expect them to try to understand the level of hunger or try to internalize your same amount of hunger because they probably will never need it. Like you can't explain to somebody who on the summer you go on yacht trips, you're traveling the world, and this is normal to them that you have to put yourself down and you actually have to go and create something grand for yourself so you can stand on your own. The hunger there probably isn't gonna be as grand as you think it is. They might try if there's like a family business, they might try to help there, but go and start something on their own, you really that's a really an outlier of somebody who goes and does something and creates their own thing despite coming from wealthy beginnings. It probably just won't go that way. And to really be honest, that's probably the most expected way. Your children probably don't need the skills that you probably won't need the same mentality that you had to get to where you are for them to get to where they want to go, because they grew up in two different situations. Of course, things like integrity, humbleness, and just being honest and being a good person is can be taught regardless of the money level. But the hunger, the passion, the love for what you do, that really can be transferred. You can't make somebody want it. Like, to really be honest, you can't make a child, just coming from a child looking at a parent perspective, you can't make a child want it more than you can. You can't make a child want to get up and go create something for themselves more than you want them to. You just can't. Because you can try all you want, but at the end of the day, it's up to them. Are they receptive to this information? Do they actually want to go do something with their life? Or do they just want to bed rot? Do they just want to rely on the money that you have and just wait till you die and get your inheritance and then live their life from there? But I also don't believe putting your child in certain situations that they don't have to be in will actually give them a benefit. Like not paying the light bill because you want them to gain a sense of hunger, even though you have the money to, probably won't give them the same level of hunger. Or not buying all the groceries at one time, even though you very well can and should. You just feel like it's going to create them hunger for them to want to go get it. I don't believe that will actually create them and make them any hungrier. Actually providing them with the ability and the freedom to go do whatever they want to do. And when they find what they want to do, push them to go even harder. I believe that will actually force them to go be hungry about something. I forgot who said it, but at a certain point, you have to, when you get a certain level of money and the life that you lived before to the one you live now is complete polar opposites. You have children who grew up during the times of the other half of your life where it's more positive and it's more welcoming. The only way to really get them to be more receptive or to even gain hunger, you have to put them in a situation where they're meant to fail. And Gilbert Arenas does this, I guess, somewhat well with his son in high school, where he sent him to not a really a big high school where he was the only good player on the team. So, yo, you down by 30, you gotta go score. You gotta go score crazy if you even want a chance to slash the luck. You're still gonna lose, but to even take the number down some, you have to put them in positions to where they're going to fail. But how much are you gonna fail by, or how are you gonna gracefully bow out, or are you gonna actually strive and try to win, even though you won't? What is you're gonna do? What is your plan gonna be? But that's just the way I see it, and I could very well be wrong. And I'm open to any feedback on this.